So again, here's our next question. The directions still say solve by factoring. There's only two directions really on the test for the most part. It's either factor completely or solve by factoring. When it says solve by factoring, you'll see the equal sign. So that tells you we're going to have two answers. How do I know I'm going to have two answers? Well, because it's solved by factoring as an equal sign, look to see what our highest exponent is. 2 means I'll have two answers for this guy. If it's cubed, 3 answers. We don't have any that are the 4th or the 5th, but you could have 4 answers or 5 answers, depends on what the highest degree is. Once you have realized this is solved by factoring, first step, determine if it's good or bad. So notice it equals 0. So we have a good one that we want to work with. When it's good, we can skip step 2, which is get rid of parentheses. I don't have any move terms, which I don't because it's already equals 0. And it's already in descending order, 2, 1, 0. So this is a good problem. When it's a good problem, then we skip step 2, go to step 3, which is factor the term sign. So we have a 3p squared, a minus 16p, and a positive 5. How do you factor this out? Well, no matter what type of problem you have, may it be 3 terms, 2 terms, or 4 terms, always look to see if there's a GCF. No matching parentheses. This doesn't have a letter. They all have a number, but 5 I can't break down. 3 I can't break down. Even if you broke down 16 as 2, 2, 2, 2, there is nothing in common. 3s, 2s, 5s, nothing in common. And it doesn't start with a negative. So no GCF. Always have to check. Remember, any type of factoring, when it says factor completely, always look to see if there's a GCF. Once you realize there's no GCF, then count how many terms are left over. In our case, it is 3 terms. It's a trinomial. So when you have 3 terms, you have to choose between shortcut, arch, or FOIL. I don't like FOIL, so that's out of the way. Shortcut, because it has a leading coefficient. This one I'm going to do arch. If you forgot arch, this is what you learned in 6.4. 8 steps. Step 1 is create the arch and multiply. When you do that, you get 15. Step 2 is do all the combos of that product that you just got. That's it. Step 3, are we going to add or subtract? We're going to add our list. Step 4, choose. Middle term, coefficient is 16. 16 here. So I got a winner. That means this can factor out. When it can factor out, we said, okay, step 5. Instead of keeping this as a 16, we're going to split this as 1 and 15. They're going to be the new coefficients. But you have to bring down the variable part for both of them. If you forgot, the arch method doesn't actually do any factoring. It just takes 1, 2, 3 terms to turn it into a 4 problem. You're actually not doing any factoring. Once we get here, remember the sign issues. Is it going to be same signs or different signs? Because we add, it's going to be the same. So these two are going to be the same. Take the bigger number. That's a 15. Shoot up the ladder. It's going to be a negative. Which means this is negative. Remember, the bigger number will always get the same sign as the middle. And since these are the same, whatever the big number gets, the little number also gets. Once we're down here, we told you step 7 is bring down the first term, bring down the last term, and now that you have 4 terms, we can do grouping. The grouping, if you forgot, that came from 6.1. Says that if you have a term that is 4 terms, you can do the grouping method. Parentheses around the first 2 terms, parentheses around the last 2 terms. Make sure the sign is included in the second set of parentheses. Then take out the GCF on the first set of parentheses. Looks like it's just the letter P. take out the GCF in the second set of parentheses. Looks like it's a 5. But because it starts as a negative, make sure this sign always comes down as part of the GCF. So make sure you're dividing each term by a -5, not just 5. That way the negatives cancel out and you get the 3p, remember, because these are supposed to match. And then +5 divided by -5 is -1. Remember, these had to match because you found the combo that worked. Once you saw that the two binomials match, our final step, step 4, is to take this and write it as only one set of parentheses. The leftovers are the GCF that you found in step 2 and step 3. Now that this is factored, remember our answer is supposed to be p equals, not 3p minus 1 and p minus 5. So how do I convert this into p equals? Well, this is where we told you. Once it's factored completely, take each parentheses, each binomial, and set it equal to 0. So when I move the 1 over, remember constants on one side, variables on the other, we get 3p equals 1, then divide by 3. So we'll get a positive 1/3 as one of our answers. So this will give us 1/3. And then p minus 5, set that equal to 0. You can clearly see all you have to do here is just move the constant over. There is no coefficient that we have to divide by, so there's our second answer. P is just a whole number 5. So remember, 2 answers, because it has an equal sign, our answer is going to be p equals, no parentheses or anything like that. And there's our 2 answers, 1/3 and 5.